Hey everyone, today we're going to be looking at scatter plots. Scatter plots are when you see like multiple coordinates on a coordinate plane, lots of data, no lines. You could fill in this blank here, but I just told you a whole bunch. Okay, there's examples right down here that shows that. A scatter plot shows the comparison. So it shows the comparison between like the mutual relationship between two things, maybe X and Y. So usually they're like comparing two things. Like sometimes it's ice cream sales compared with the temperature of the day. Do they go up? Do they go down? And that kind of thing, comparing them. So there's 4 different kind of types. So you could have a positive correlation, which is what we will normally see. And a strong positive. All it means for a strong positive are those dots are closer together. All right. But a positive correlation, it does look like a positive sloping line. So notice how it kind of goes up and to the right. On both of these, it goes up and to the right. It is a linear. These 2 examples are. And a negative correlation is like it's going down when you go off into the right side of it. Okay. You can have a strong negative correlation, just like a strong positive one. It just means those dots are closer together. And the last type of graph is a no correlation. The dots are everywhere. You cannot tell if it's, like a positive slope or a negative slope. So it's everywhere and anywhere those dots can be. Let's look at the next couple of examples. So most questions about scatter plots are going to ask you to identify where a dot would be on the coordinate plane. Like if the graph continued, where would it be located? That kind of a thing. So let's take a look at this example. It says students recorded their total number of pages and chapters in each of the several books. Okay. Based on the scatter plot, what is the best prediction of the total number of pages in a book with 4 chapters? So we have 4 chapters. That is your x-axis. So I'm going to go find the 4 on the x-axis, and I'm going to look at this vertical line here. Okay, let me see if I can draw it pretty straight for you. Ooh, kind of. Okay, so if I look at this vertical line leading up from the 4, where could my possible dot hit? Okay, so now I'm going to look at all the answer choices. So answer choice A says 150. So I'm going to come over here to number of pages, and I'm going to find that 150 is located right here. Let me get a different color. 140 is answer choice B, so it's kind of right below it. 90 is right in here. And that would be answer choice C. And then 120 is the next answer choice. So how do I decide where it could fall? Because it looks like some of them could be a possible answer choice. So you're looking at, if I were to draw a line connecting as many points as I could through this graph, which one would maybe go through it? Okay. And what I mean by that is like, let me choose this really weird blue. So I would try and connect as many of these as I could, and it would go through probably 120. So I would choose D. Okay. A lot of them are like clearly defined as your answer. All right. This one though, you kind of got to decide where would it go through that best fit line. So let's take a look at number 1. A lot of this up at the top tells you what the graph is talking about, that they talked to 12 different people and he took all that data and put it on a graph. Now, here at the bottom, where the answer choices are, is where we really want to look. It says, based on the scatter plot, what is the best prediction of the resting heart rate in beats per minute of a person who exercises an average of 8 hours each week? So go to your graph and find where it says exercises 8 hours. It's the x-axis. So I'm looking again at the 8. I notice my graph is nowhere near 8, but I need to see if it continued, where would it hit? Okay. So let's look at your answer choices again. It says 30 beats per minute. So coming over here to beats per minute, and I look at 30, it would be right here. 50 beats per minute would be right here. 55 would be maybe almost too high. Okay. And then 60 would be up here, and it's definitely too high. So we're going to go ahead and cross off H and J. Those are way too high. If you look at 30, that's almost way too low. So we're going to go with G as our answer choice. I hope you chose G as well. It's a weird looking G. Let me cut off some of that. All right, let's go to the next one, and you can try it, and we'll see how you do. So on this scatter plot, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. All right. On this scatter plot, it shows that the energy in watts and the light output in lumens per watt. Okay, so which statement best describes the association between the energy and the light output of these light bulbs? So what it wants you to do is take a look at all the answer choices. You can pause it, but what answer choice do you get? All right, so what I'm looking at is I'm seeing that as the energy increases, the light output increases. So as this energy increases, the light output increases. If this were to happen, it would look like this, going up in a, okay? That's what this example would look like for F. Now, no, G says if the energy increase and the light output decreases. So it would look like this. Energy is increasing, it's going to the right, but it's going down in the output for number 2 answer choice. As the energy increases, the light output remains the same. So it would look like this, okay, for this third example. So we notice that ours, there is a little bit of maybe something here, right? But then there is all of these other dots all around, right? And so it's going to be J. It is called a no correlation. This is no and then correlation. All right. Good example. It kind of looks like something. Oh, where did it go? There it goes. Okay. But that is, all right, and that is all that we're going to look at. So no correlation. Let me erase this line that I drew in these little dots so you can kind of see it a little better, but no correlation. It's kind of everywhere. All right. If you have questions, please get a hold of Mr. Jewell or myself. We would be glad to help you out with scatter plots.